I have actually emerged outside today. This is crazy. It's like springtime outside, so I needed a few minutes of actual fresh air before I get on my calls for the day. So today's topic for Daily Shot of Shari is the notion of what do you do when you get scared. Now it sounds silly because none of us grown-ups like to admit that we get scared, but we use a different part of our brain when we get fearful, so we can have the best laid out plans and the decision, welcome to my parking lot, the decision to forge forward in our life, in our business, and treat our relationships differently, and fulfill all of our business goals and hit all of our targets. All cool when you're not scared. As soon as you get scared, you click into the reptilian part of your brain, and then you lose all focus. You decide you can't do all of the things that you were positive you were able to do, and it feels like your hopes and dreams leave the window. So when you go back to that reptilian part of your brain, and it sometimes can feel like you're going back to a little kid version of yourself, that scared kid or that teenager who didn't get what they wanted, or that young adult who felt like the world was against them. And then you start to make decisions from that place rather than the clear-headed, decisive, driven person that you are right now, even if you don't feel like it all the time. So how do we switch gears back? And I'm speaking from personal experience. I had a little wobble this week. Just some fear stuff came up, a situation happened, and it brought me back to believing old stuff about myself that, whether it's true or not, is not a place that I function from anymore. So we all have experiences that went well and experiences that didn't go well. When we're in a clear place, we like to focus on the version of us that creates things that go well. The fear place in us brings in the stuff that didn't go well. So then we think that story's gonna play out again. I also spoke to a friend/client last night who had the same thing. Nothing new happened, but he went into a state of fear, and in that state of fear, all the what ifs, all the things he thought were never going to play out started actually happening in his mind as though they were happening in real time. And it was really fascinating to watch him in real time slip back to that old self that we've been working on for so long that isn't really there anymore. His old reactions, his old feeling of paranoia in the sense of people are out to get me. We all do it. Or this relationship's gonna play out like the last one, or this business deal's gonna fall apart. My clients are gonna leave because of one bad review. We go to the extreme, so we go all or nothing to very black and white. Because I had this conversation 3 times yesterday with clients, I know that it's time to talk about it. So if you go that full binary black and white idea, the goal is to get back to safety. Now you may not be able to change the situation, of course, immediately, but you need to find some gray area for yourself to understand what black and white is and what else is possible. When you're in fear, it's hard to think of possibility, so you need to do a gradation of gray. What are 5 ways that this could play out differently than on or off, than horrible or amazing? Because that child in us does the I want everything or I want nothing, and then we can't move from that spot when we're frozen in fear. So for example, situation I had this week, it went from all to nothing, and I had to say, okay, what other scenarios can this play out as other than a repeat of history that I've had before or a way that I don't want it to turn? So that meant slowing myself down when I like to speed up when I get afraid, because I go into safety mode and I go into quick, where's the safety wall when I'm playing tag? How do I get safe? So first slow yourself down, and then write out on a piece of paper 3 to 5 ways this scenario can play out differently. What it does is it brings you back into the present moment of thinking, this is not the old conversation I've had before. This is not the one bad client I had that I felt was gonna ruin things for me. This is not, I had one cheat meal and now I'm completely off of the way that I'm eating healthy. What can you do in between? So if it has to do with relationships, don't put the ghost face of the old relationships onto the face of the current situation. Whether it's a friend, it's a partner, it's a business associate, don't run the tape that's already played. Find a way to say, what's another way to have this conversation? Can you stand up for yourself in a different way? Can you listen better to the other? Can you learn not to react right away and take some space and say to them, You go to your corner, I'll go to my corner, without that immediate grip of this has to be solved so that I can get to safety. This is a hard thing for me. And my client slash friend who I spoke to last night has the same thing that I do. So it's very easy to recognize it in other people when I'm trying to slow him down and say, nothing is happening right now in this moment that's changed from 10 minutes ago before you got afraid. We think we need to face things head on right away, or otherwise we're being wimpy. That's actually not true, because we face them from a reactionary fear place. We don't face them from a smart, calm, systematically mature, conscious place. So making some space in between the reaction and the stimulus is what you're looking for. So first make some space, then write out 3 to 5 ways this can play out differently than the fear story you're telling in your head. Then sit with it. I would say an hour, 2 hours. I know I react quickly and I get scared quickly, so I can't do the take 2 days out yet. I'm hoping to build to that. In the meantime, I can take 30 minutes and feel safe, stretch it to an hour and feel safe, move along my day, getting back into the present moment. Well, what did I need to do? What can I do other than climbing into bed and hiding under my covers, because it's probably not going to help whatever's going on either way, or regardless of how the scenario plays out, life still has to go on. So then focus on something that makes you feel comfortable, safe, and empowered. Move yourself out of that fear state and go back to something that feels like home to you. So maybe that's spending time with people who you do feel safe with. Maybe it's getting quiet and doing some meditation. Maybe it's going for a run, putting on some music, having some food that gets you back into your body, that you can feel yourself knowing that you're safe. From there, you can then look at that list of 3 to 5 things and realize, wait a second, I actually have the choice of how this is going to go. Now, you can't control other people or their reactions, but you can control what happens for you in this scenario. So I hope this was helpful. A little bit of a longer one today because it's a timely topic for a lot of people. Seem to be going through a lot of fear stuff right now, and I don't want you to stay in it, and I don't want you to react in ways that don't serve you well, that bring you back to old things in yourself, and then you feel like you went backwards. It's cyclical. It's a learning skill. It's a learning curve and strength training to be the person that you want to be. So don't react fully. Go back, slow down, find a couple of gradations of gray, and see how that feels. Hope you have a great day. If this was helpful for you at all, please like and share this with other people so that they can figure out how to get out of fear as well. Have a great day.